I've lost the socket. I wonder where that went.
You ain't done the Holy Grail and lost a 10 mil, have you?
Yeah, that's the one I lost.
Everybody loses a 10 mil.
They're 12s. That's probably in my van. No, they're not. They're 13s. It's probably in my van somewhere.
Again, that's probably a mixture of what was available.
Another one.
There's literally spare parts, so just to get everything in one place, sort of thing. Oh, drill driver's handy, isn't it?
Sorry?
Oh, drill driver's handy.
Yeah, it's a lovely bit of kit. Ryobi do some good stuff when they pull their fingers out, but I have noticed just lately their battery technology isn't up to scratch. I've had to send a couple of batteries back that are like brand new. You put them in charger and nothing. It just gives you the reading of a shot battery. I think I've got to get behind it anyway.
Yeah, I think I had that bit welded on, that second pulley. I seem to remember, that's why I was painting silver.
What, you done that at work, did you?
Yeah, I think it wobbles a bit.
TIG welder? Because it looked like it's a TIG.
Yeah, it was TIG. I didn't do it, I got someone to do it for me.
Yeah, but you're getting good now, aren't you, with TIGs?
I haven't done any TIG at work. We don't do any TIG at all. That's all me.
I need somebody like you to show me how to do it. I've got a TIG welder at home, it was given to me. I've never used it.
It's fairly easy.
It's just a series of spot welds, isn't it?
Just technique.
Is it anything like gas? Because I was terrible at gas.
Similar.
Oh.
But more controllable.
I'm in trouble then because I'm terrible with gas.
More controllable. You need coordination.
Right.
Between your hands. But yeah, it's not too bad.
I can't play the drums.
The other welder I work with, he can't TIG for his life.
Sorry?
He can't TIG for his life. He tried.
We're talking while recording. You know that's going to get heard.
No. No names were mentioned. I mean, I only know TIG because I bought myself a plant to practice with.
Yeah.
I'm not brilliant at it, but the trike frame's all TIG together by me. That's all TIG. There's no MIG on it at all. Because I wanted to learn TIG, so I made a point of just TIGging the whole thing. Isn't there another one underneath somewhere?
Oh yeah, no, I've got that one. No, I've got them all. Unless that one has been threaded through. That's a screw anyway.
So no, probably not then.
Also got to take the sump.
You know, I'll just stick a camera in the vice. So.
Yeah, that won't work.
Yeah.
Vice is in the way. Getting an aching arm, ain't you?
Yeah. Actually, the vice ain't in the way. Right, if I come to the front.
Yeah, but can you see what's going on?
Let's have a look, shall we?
Welcome to my world, Andy.
Oh, I don't do all these blogs and things.
Well, I started off doing it for one specific purpose, and now it's led to other reasons. I quite enjoy doing them, but I don't know what's going on with YouTube at the moment. They're just messing around. They're not notifying people in time. They're not sharing the videos.
Yeah. Actually, somebody else said the other day they were in trouble with YouTube.
They're just useless.
YouTube also take an awful lot of money from people
Yeah.
who earn from it.
Yeah, they do.
33% or something.
Well, when
they've got this Patreon going nowadays, so if you want to subscribe and pay your subscription, you pay it on Patreon.
Yeah.
They don't take the money off of them. Well, they do, but you know, a very minimum amount.
Yeah, they do. They take a cut from that as well. And they've made recent changes where you now have to have 1,000 subscribers before you can put adverts on. So what they do is they put adverts on your videos before you hit for thousands, so you don't see a penny of anything. But I didn't originally start it to make money, but it would certainly help the build if I had it, you know.
Yeah. That works quite well, that camera like that.
So yeah, they're not doing notifications anymore as regular as, I mean, I watched a lot of channels where people have put stuff up,
Yeah.
and in 3 days later a note has come through saying this person has uploaded, and then I've had people come back to me, I never got a notification a week later.
Yeah. There's one in there down that side still, Sean.
Huh?
There's one in there that side still.
Oh yeah, there it is, I didn't see that. All of them? Yep, that's all of them.
You reckon?
I think so. Yeah, it is, that's all of them. You got a pry bar, you got one of them in here. Screwdriver, pry bar. Even a hammer would be useful. And have you got a spare sump bolt as well?
Spare something?
Yeah, the drain oil.
Oh, that I couldn't tell you.
Okay. Oh, I've got it now. One sump. Oh, it's got all this muck in here.
Yeah, as I say, that pickup is a different shape.
That is way different to the other V8s I've seen.
Oh, that's a car setup, you see. Which I guess is trying to make it a bit more refined, stop sort of in the oil circle and things, so
Yeah.
that extra guard in.
Good idea.
So you can take all that.
Oh.
That's some product. I don't know, I'll have to look. There's a box of bolts up there somewhere.
I'll probably get one on eBay, can't I? At worst.
Yeah, they'll just be like a BSF or something, won't they?
That's fixed to that, isn't it? That's not going. Oh, that blinking one is.
Yeah, I think the whole lot's screwed together.
How the hell do you get that off?
But if you've got the pickup pipe unbolted, then it should all come together, shouldn't it?
13 mil. I'll take that off first.
Yeah. Do you want a coffee?
Nah, I'm alright, sir. Right, now we can get to that. No, we can't. The hell size is it?
Well, I've been watching the SpaceX rockets.
Yeah.
Alan Musk has put it up, like the Starship one, not the normal ones, the experimental ones. And there's loads and loads of people got like cameras on their site.
Yeah.
Several different things. And the donations these people get, unreal. I say they watched the other day, someone donated $500 to him just to ask him a question.
Yeah.
Oh God, you know. Wow. Obviously there's money to be made. I'm sure there must be bolts up the top under where the dizzy is. Hold that down.
No, I've got them all. Unless there's some hidden
There's
behind.
something internal.
Oh.
I think there might be.
Didn't get that one.
Because you can't. There's that one under there. It's got the front off, but you can't bloody see in there. Could maybe get enough crap out of the way you could tip it over and have a look. It hasn't got the water pump on
You've got a mallet?
I've got mine to work. A lumber hammer.
No, I didn't really want to use one of them, but if that's all there is.
Lumber hammer and a bit of wood.
Yeah, okay, a bit of wood.
Lumber hammer. most of my tools are actually indoors at the minute where I'm actually cool.
That was easy.
There was nothing else under there.
Nope.
Cool.
Right, there you go. Spare parts for the other trike. And that pump's now coming off, so be careful with it. Right, the bit I need is that bloody bolt. That's it.
So you don't need none of that for your fuel pump or anything?
No, got it all.
For your oil pump?
No, got it all.
Right, okay.
Got it all on the other one. Thanks for the offer. It was just this.
Where that pickup is?
Yep, I just need that bolt and that washer. That's it. And the sump and the pickup.
No worries.
And the right socket to get it all off with. Unbelievable.
Well, you see, it's not metric, is it?
I'm not saying nothing. I've got too many American viewers. Get up.
Yeah. On the basic site, they go on about metric and imperial. Fucking well funny. It really is.
Right, do you want me to take this out or leave that on there? Because it's all floating.
I'll just leave it on there. I'll just tip the engine back in as it is.
Yep, okay.
On its arse end.
Done then.
That's fine.
Thank you very much.
That's all you need.
That's all I need. That will get mine finished. Bit of luck. Right.
Right for gaskets and stuff.
Yeah, I've got to order a gasket kit at some point. I've got
I've got a few odds and ends if you need to.
the only gasket I haven't got that I've got to get my hands on is that housing. It's the only one I ain't got.
I look good in the box. I don't think there is.
But I was going to order that anyway. I've got most of the other stuff sorted.
Once you have a shed done, most of this is coming out anyway. The main rack is going to go in there.
Back to Ipswich. Okay, so I've got what I need. I'm hoping this will all work out. So I'm going to head off home. As you can see, I've got everything. No idea if it's all going to work, but we'll see.
Well, maybe pointing down there or up there.
Won't fit. You can get me a 19 socket, a big long socket.
Hang on, I've got to find the 19 first.
Look at the big long ones that are under there.
Ah, hang on, come on, I've got it. That's a 19. That's a 19. That is a 19. Come
Yeah,
at your
well, I need the adapter because you've got the wrong one. Right, I need that tub.
tub.
Hopefully this won't end in tears and it overflow the tub.
Oh, you missed it. Why is it coming out thick?
Because it's called oil, dear.
There will be water in it then.
There is water in it. Water's got in the engine somehow. That's bad. I lost 2 engines because of that. Partly why I didn't want to pull this engine apart at the moment, but because the YouTube channel has, you know, this build has brought people in, I decided that I needed to do something. So what I'm trying to say is I ain't got any choice. I have got to put this engine back together. So I'm a bit concerned. There wasn't a lot of water in there, probably a cupful, but water has definitely got in, but I don't know where. Everything was on here for months, covered. Unless we had a bit of rain last night. Did we have any rain last night?
I think so. Ew.
There was water on top of the sheet. It could have rolled off, I suppose, and got in down there. Okay, another part that I pulled off that engine that's missing on mine. And I definitely don't remember seeing that in a bag of bits. And that fits. So to answer the question that I really knew from the very beginning, because I was just trying to get people to interact, does there a bolt fit that area? And the simple answer is yes. I don't know how much of this you're going to see. God's sake, that's a tight space. over there. No extension bar.
I don't know if I'm holding it right.
Well, as long as you can see this fall on my head. Right, that's going to go, so I'm going to get out of the way.
Moving. You made me jump! So I'm trying to hold it. You got a nut in that?
Yep. The good news is that one feeds the big ends. That one is the pickup. That actually throws the oil. On the 4 litre, I reckon it throws it back through there. I'm not sure how the 4 litre works, though, I'll be honest with you. But this one here goes to the old input underneath. I've already sprayed WD-40. And I'll give you a demonstration. So there is the can. And there is the drip. So we can put the pickup back on that point. However, I have noticed 3 holes. 1, 2 and 3. 1, 2. Looks like there was a point here, and it don't go nowhere that I can figure. I mean, I've got my finger behind it, so even drilling that out won't do me any good. So I'm a little confused still. Here's the old pump. Right. So your pickup is there. That bolts into the engine via that pipe. And you've got, oh, I don't remember undoing that pipe there. Have I got this the wrong way round? No, I haven't, because that's, what did I undo from there then? This is all very, very confusing. So it must be that one. So it must just flow back into that and go around the rest of the engine. So how does it get up to the damn heads? Huh, very curious. There he goes, coming through there, look. I don't get how that works. I'm a bit concerned about putting this all together, you see, and not getting oil to where it's supposed to go. There is definitely a blank off here. That's your input, that's your output, that's your input, and that's your output. And I must have undone something from there, but I don't remember what. I'll have to go through my video, but I've deleted my, oh no, is it for that? No, in for that. I don't remember removing anything from it. I obviously did. The Rover V8 began life as a Buick 215, an all aluminium overhead valve pushrod engine introduced in the 1960s to 1961 US model year. It was on their drawing board in the late 50s. Buick produced 317,000 plus cars with the engine in just 3 years. A comparable number of Oldsmobiles 215s engines were produced, and that is why I said in a reply to your comment about you're probably more familiar with this engine than you realise. It originated from America as a 215 Buick engine. I believe America gave up with it because it just wasn't a very good engine at the time. I believe also it was produced as an all aluminium engine because you had a steel shortage in the country, and the car companies over there were looking for cheaper ways to produce the bigger gas guzzling engines. Rover came along. I can't remember the name of the bloke, but they came along, saw the designs, bought the toolings, and just literally started reproducing it. We did some slight design changes on it and made it a better engine, some would say. I can now end this video. Because I can now confirm I've seen some photos of some old engines, and those two holes exist on those other engines. We know that that one, when we spray WD-40 through, comes out through the bottom of the sump where those pickups are. So my assessment on this is we are good to go. Definitely good to go. The lifters are the same on the 4 litre as they are on the 3. I don't know about the rockers and the connecting rods at the moment. Not connecting rods, push rods, sorry. I don't know yet on those, but that's immaterial at this point in time. So what we're going to do is, using all the original 4 litre bolt and points and the sump from the other engine that I pulled apart today, I'm going to put all of that underneath, because I do think it will fit without any issues. So we're going to get some gasket paper, some gasket sealer tomorrow, and we are going to put this engine back together. So this video I'm going to upload, and tomorrow I will start messing around with it. The cam, yes, it has a few pits, but it will get me by for a few months. I just had a look at the price of one of those, 250 odd quid for iLift cam. I can get a cheap 25 quid, 50 quid one, second hand, brand new, but I don't think it would last that long anyway, especially if it's been made in China. And I don't want to be pulling this apart unnecessarily, like spending money on something and pulling it apart. I don't mind pulling it apart if I've been lazy and put an old part in, but obviously I don't want to pull it apart if I just put new parts in. So we're going to go with that. Lifters are 6 quid each, but the ones that are in the previous engines, well, they were a bit tappy, I suppose. We're looking at about 100 quid, just under 100 quid to replace all of those at £6 a lifter. But that would be good to do, because they'll hold the oil, and then we just got to sort the cam out at a later date, and we've already done most of the work already. So pulling all that top end off, changing the cam ain't going to be a big deal, and this will give me good practice. The only other problem is I've got to find a gasket for the water jacket, and we've got to clean up all this mess that we've got going on around here. So tomorrow I am definitely going to start putting this all back together, without a doubt. I've took the spark plugs out, I've poured WD down the barrels, I've spun the engine over by hand, it's all nice and free. The water that was in that sump was rusty, so I suspect when I was pulling all these bits apart, the water managed to find its way down in that chamber somewhere. That's the only thing I can come up with. I did notice the cam that came out of here did have rust over that back corner in one area. If you look down there you can see it. So it could have got in through there, but I'm highly unlikely. I don't actually know how it got in, but I suspect when I took the chamber off the top here, the plenum chamber tubes, the velocity stacks I think they're called, when I took that off, that's when it probably got in. Or the other one is when I pulled this front off, because remember that was sitting there idle, that was actually exposed to the weather overnight. The wife did say about condensation, it could be, it might not be, I don't know. But we're going to put this back together using all the bits that I got. I'm going to get some gasket paper tomorrow and make up a few gaskets, because there's no way I can get the gaskets that I need in time. Not tomorrow anyway, it's too late to ring up now. And I believe I can build that gasket myself. That's pretty well open. Got to clean everything before it all goes in. I need some fresh oil that I can rub over everything. That cam, yeah, it's got a few little areas, but they're not pitted, they're just stained, so that the rust hasn't been on there for very long. So I'm not worried too much about that. The lifters, I've got a set sitting in a shed that came out of another engine, but I also do have these ones as well, and as I'm putting the rockers back in, it might pay me just to put those in for the time being. But I do believe there was one or two that were a little tappy, and I don't know which ones, and they're about £100 to replace. So we're not going to do that. We're going to just put those ones back in, I reckon, because we know they work. We'll put the rockers back on. We'll measure them up against a set of 3.5 rockers, but I believe those rockers will be the same. What else is there? The covers will be going back on. I'm going to look at the sump I picked up today, check it against that one. If it's the same as that, then that one's going back on, because I've got the plug for that, and the plug is different on the other sump. And we'll get some gasket. Yeah, that one's going to be a bit troublesome. Oh no, that's gasket sealer on there, so we'll reseal that with sealer. We'll put that on last, because obviously we need that cover on first. So we're going to have to get a container of petrol, wash all that through, make up a new gasket, wallop that on, get the sump on, get the strainer put in, the new strainer, get that put in, and then we'll time up the front. Once we've got all of this sorted, we'll time that all up, as that's going to be tricky. I think that's going to cause me a lot of anguish, so I'm not very good at timing stuff. And then we'll gently wind it over and make sure that nothing is interfering anywhere. Not that it can. Well, it might do. The valves are still going to open. They might hit the pistons, obviously, so that's what I was referring to. So yeah, we'll see where this ends up. With all that in mind, thank you for viewing. Keep looking in if you're interested. There'll be more coming. Laters.